Hello and welcome to Learn All-Over Biology 1590. So in today's particular unit we're going to discuss characteristics of living things, and by the end of this discussion you should be able to identify the characteristics of living things and also distinguish living and non-living things. Okay, so there are 7 characteristics that will be discussed, and these include respiration, excretion, nutrition, reproduction, sensitivity, growth, and movement. Okay, so these are the characteristics that are going to be discussed. Okay, the first one is respiration. What is respiration? Okay, respiration is just a release of energy from food substances inside living cells. Okay, release of energy from food substances inside living cells. Now, on this type of respiration, or just respiration, there are 2 types. There are 2 types of respiration. These include aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is just a release of energy from food substances inside living cells with the presence of oxygen. Okay, anaerobic respiration, on the other hand, is a release of energy from food substances inside living cells in the absence of oxygen. Okay, the other one is excretion. What is excretion? Excretion is the removal of toxic metabolic wastes from living cells, or just from the tissue. Okay, an example you can use under excretion, an example is sweating. Okay, now in that sweat, things that are going to be part of that include water. Okay, we also have some components of urea and also salts. Okay, those will be part of the sweat. Okay, as examples. The third one is nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is just a process or an ability of organisms to obtain food. Okay. Under nutrition, there are also two types. There are two types. Okay. Two types of nutrition. These include autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay. Now, what is autotrophic? Autotrophic nutrition is a type of nutrition where organisms make their own food. Okay. An example can use under autotrophic plants. Okay. Plants are able to make their own food. Okay. With the help of photosynthesis. Okay. Then heterotrophic nutrition is a type of nutrition where organisms depend on already made food. Okay. An example you can use under heterotrophic is, for example, a cow grazing on grass. Okay. Number 4, we have reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which organisms produce offspring, or rather young ones. Okay, so an example you can use under this one, under reproduction, is a dog giving birth to puppies. Okay, that is reproduction. Okay, giving out producing young ones. The fifth one is sensitivity. What is sensitivity? Sensitivity is just an ability to detect and respond to stimuli. Okay, now what is this particular stimuli? What is stimuli? Stimuli is anything that causes a response. An example is temperature. When it is hot, sweating usually is seen among human beings. When it is cold, human beings shiver, feel cold. Okay? The other one is growth. What is growth? Growth is just a permanent permanent increase in size and dry mass. An example we can give under this one is puppies growing or changing their size to becoming a dog. Okay, there is already transition from something that is small to something that is big. Already that is an example of growth we can use. Lastly is movement. What is movement? Movement is just change of location and posture of an organism. Now, this movement can be explained in two ways. Okay, an example is a tree. Okay, a tree already in one position, but you only see what is changing the position, which are the leaves. Okay, and the branches because of the wind that are causing them to move. Okay, then the other one is a dog. Okay, a dog is moving, as that is an entire body is moving. That is an example of movement as well. Okay, but usually when we try to focus on the movements of the dog, where an entire organism is changing the position, we usually say that is locomotion. Okay, so for an organism to qualify to be part of the characteristic, or an organism to be called an organism, it should at least have the 7 characteristics. Okay, minus these 7 characteristics, then that is not an organism that is living. That is the major difference between living and non-living.